guys! So a while back I had an important event to go to, so of course I got a huge zit on my face. Luckily for me, one of my favorite beauty bloggers had posted a video on how to get rid of zits really quickly. So I tried it out and it did not work at all. I felt personally victimized. This made me wonder about all the other life hacks you see all over the internet and whether or not those actually work. So I found a few on Pinterest and I'm going to try them out and give my unbiased opinion so that you don't have to have your hopes crushed like I did. I've been researching these all week. That's how seriously I'm taking this. I did more studying than I have ever done in school. My glamorous assistant. Pick a design you like and trace it onto a sheet of wax paper with a permanent marker. Then cut it out and go over the design with either a liquid eyeliner or a gel pen. Quickly before it dries, apply this like you would a normal temporary tattoo. It didn't transfer well the first time, so I tried it again and it was still really faded. Now go over the outline with your eyeliner or pen and set it by patting on some baby powder with your makeup brush. You're also supposed to use hairspray to set it, but I think that's what caused it to smudge. I also drew a plan with my Sharpie for comparison. This is how they progressed over the next few days. So this life hack was a little weird. The eyeliner drawing smudged almost instantly but then stayed put all night while the Sharpie drawing faded while I was sleeping. Then the next day when I took a shower, the eyeliner drawing faded while I was in the shower, but the Sharpie tattoo stayed put. The transfer process with the wax paper barely showed up, but I would still use this method if I were to give myself a henna tattoo or something. All in all, I have to say this didn't really work out well. The tattoo didn't really look that great, and it's definitely not something that you could like prank your mom with and be like, oh hey, look at this new tattoo I got, it says pork fried rice in Chinese. So this summer has been a really hot, disgustingly humid one. And because of that, your feet probably stink like corn chips. These are the shoes I wear to work and on really rare occasions to exercise. So they are probably pretty gross. I've never deliberately smelled my own sneakers, but for the sake of science, okay. But to rectify smelly sneakers, you are going to teabag them. If there is any way to possibly mess this up, I will probably find it. You put one tea bag at the heel and then another in the toes and just let it saturate overnight. So I let the tea bag sit in my shoes and now I'm gonna find out if they still smell or not. They actually don't smell like anything. I'm really surprised. I thought that this wouldn't work at all, honestly. But no, they don't smell like corn chips, they don't smell like tea. This is actually pretty awesome. So this did actually work, but I think Febrezing your shoes would take a lot less time. So one life hack that I have seen everywhere is using tape to make your eyeliner on point. I always mess up when doing my wings and I have to go over it like 8 times. And by the end they are just so thick I could use them to fly away. Hopefully this works and I won't be late for everything anymore. Why were you late for Grandma's funeral? Beauty like this does not happen overnight. Take a smallish piece of tape and place that in the corner of your eye, extending upwards to the end of your eyebrow. Now make your wing just like you normally would and the tape will act as a barrier. I really do not know what to think about this. Like on one hand, it seems like it did give me a really nice straight line, but on the other hand, there's still eyeliner like everywhere, and I still have to touch this up. I don't know if you can see that, but it took off a little bit of my concealer, but that's kind of to be expected. I probably shouldn't have put the concealer on until I finished my eyeliner. So on the whole, I would say that this life hack does pretty much work as long as you don't have shaky old lady hands like I do. I really hate it when you're wearing cute rings all day and then you go home and take them off and your fingers are all green and it looks like you have some sort of disgusting infection that's making your skin rot off. This may be preventable by coating the inside of your rings with clear nail polish. I used to do this all the time when I was younger because my skin would get really irritated if I didn't wear hypoallergenic jewelry, but I don't really remember if it works or not. Okay, I just finished putting a coat on each of these rings. The drying time actually took a lot quicker than I expected. I thought it was going to be like 5 minutes, but it only took 30 seconds. So I'm just going to wear these all day and then at the end check and see if my fingers are green or not. So it's the end of the day and my fingers have magically not turned green at all. I've been wearing those rings for like 6 hours. And usually my fingers turn green after like 10 minutes. This is seriously going to save me from having to always walk around with Shrek hands. I have been counting down the days, waiting for fall to come back so that I can wear all my cute boots again. The only problem with this is that most of my boots are almost as salty as I am. Seriously, road salt is my greatest enemy. I don't care that it's saving people from tragic accidents, it is ruining the aesthetic of my OOTD. It's kind of hard to tell because the area is still really wet, but I think this did actually work. It doesn't feel like there's any salt on it at all, but it smells terrible. Like, I do not know how women can stand to douche themselves with this. Also, I didn't think of this before, but I'm wondering if the vinegar could ruin the fabric of my boots. My favorite pair of shorts shrunk in the wash the other day, and now they're too small to even fit my cats. But to be fair, I do have really overweight cats. So one of the life hacks I found gives you step-by-step instructions on how to stretch them out back to their original size. First, get a bucket and fill it with water that's as lukewarm as my personality. Then mix in some conditioner. I don't think it really matters what kind of conditioner, but you probably shouldn't use something that's your favorite. Soak your shrunken clothes in there for half an hour. Wring it out and pat dry with a towel. Stretch it out to the desired size and use heavy objects to keep it in place. Then let it air dry for 25 minutes. These sit for way over 25 minutes, probably like 3 hours, and they are still pretty wet. Google lied to me about how long it would take them to dry, but the life hack did not work at all. They are still the same size as before. Have you ever had one of those moments where you decide you finally want to get your life together and you want to get in shape and you're heading out to the gym, but then something like this happens? I am so ready to exercise. I just need to grab a water bottle and then I'm good to go. There's nothing in here. Oh, that's right, I didn't put them in the fridge. Well, I guess there's nothing I can do about it now. Well, it might be possible to make a room temperature drink ice cold in just 5 minutes. The first step in this endeavor is just to forget that your fridge dispenses both cold water and ice. The next step is to take a room temperature drink, a wet paper towel, wrap the wet paper towel around the drink, then place that in the freezer for 5 minutes. So I kinda cheated. I left this in for about 15 minutes instead of 5 minutes because I was busy doing something else, but this actually worked. Like, this is not ice cold, but it's pretty decently cold. Also, the paper towel is kind of frozen. So I'm taking 1/4 a cup of water, 1/4 a cup of corn syrup, and 1/2 a cup of Joy dish soap. I'm shaking it all together in this empty bubbles container, and it's supposed to make an unpoppable bubble solution. To be honest, I am really skeptical of this. Like, the point of bubbles is to pop. I think that's the definition of bubbles. If they don't pop, then the world is just going to be dominated by indestructible spears of soap. That is a really terrifying thought. But I guess I'm doing this anyways. I can never find the freaking bubble wand. So this did create bubbles, but they were not unpoppable. They popped after like a second, which is the way bubbles should be in my opinion. It's really fun if you want to create some at-home DIY bubbles. It'd be really great for kids, but it wouldn't be great for your indestructible bubble army. So that was pretty interesting. I honestly did not expect most of that stuff to work. I'm not a scientist, I barely passed biology, so I don't know why some stuff worked and some stuff didn't, but I'm gonna leave links in the description box if you want to try it out for yourself. I had a bunch of other life hacks I wanted to add into this, but this video is already way too long as it is, so I think I'm gonna have to turn that into a series. So if you have anything you want me to try out, please comment that. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye guys!